After a few months away, we're back in Ohio, probably the most random zoo hotspot in America. And hey, guess what? It didn't take a year this time to return to the Toledo Zoo and Aquarium. After 3 tours in the zoo's historic south side, we're moving over the Anthony Wayne Trail to the newer North Campus, and the first exhibit that guests see after arriving at the zoo. The Arctic Encounter opened in January 2000, welcoming in a new century at the Toledo Zoo, and offering a big first impression for decades to come. Despite featuring just 3 habitats and 5 species, after 24 years, the Arctic Encounter still holds up as one of the better outdoor attractions at the Toledo Zoo. The Arctic Encounter opens with a detailed fountain, basically showing you exactly what you're about to see. From there, a short trail winds past an Inukshuk structure and through appropriately northern flora to this Arctic's first featured habitat. Visible through the foggy windows is a simple rocky coastline, but the main focus is on the extensive underwater viewing. Even though I'm sure most of you already know what it contains, I'm gonna hold off revealing it for just a moment as we enter into the Interpretive Gallery, complete with displays on Arctic wildlife, changing Arctic landscapes, a polar blast machine, and even a full-size polar bear replica, in case you didn't already know what you were here to see. On the right side of the gallery is a continuation of the underwater viewing we saw outside, where you can observe 3 kinds of pinnipeds. The more long-time residents are a single harbor seal named Fritz, and the larger but no less graceful gray seals, Spike and Patty. In 2022, the aging seals were joined by 4 California sea lions, 2 mother-daughter pairs who came from an aquarium in Arizona. While the California sea lion is not typically considered an Arctic species, their range does extend up to the southern coast of Alaska. This mix also offers a great opportunity to note the differences between seals and sea lions. Seals lack the, admittedly still small, external ears of sea lions and are also much more cumbersome on land, while sea lions with their elongated, flexible front flippers are much more agile. Sea lions also have a reputation for being more gregarious and much noisier than their seal counterparts. The pinniped's pool culminates in a sort of pocket-like cave, which is placed directly beneath the smaller of 2 connected exhibits for the world's largest land predator, where guests can enjoy amphitheater-style viewing while watching the zoo's polar bears show their water-loving side while swimming in their 90,000-gallon pool. A polar bear's large, webbed paws, thick water-repellent fur, and buoyant fat layers help them be at home in the water. Even more impressive is their endurance. Although rare, a polar bear can remain in the water for days at a time. In fact, due to the large amounts of time they spend in the water and on Arctic sea ice, the polar bear is classified as a marine mammal. The final feature of the Interpretive Gallery is a small walk-in cave that offers a view into the bear's public den. If the polar bears are not in the water, they may be better seen from 3 additional vantage points back outside. While not exactly a rare zoo species yet, polar bears are nowhere near as abundant in the US as they once were. This decreasing population can largely be attributed to a lack of success breeding polar bears for most zoos, but not here in Toledo. In fact, the Toledo Zoo has welcomed the birth of 10 polar bear cubs since 2006, with 9 of the 10 being born to 25-year-old all-star mom Crystal. Crystal, who was originally born in Belgium, is now the mother or grandmother of most of the younger polar bears in US zoos. She had her first 7 cubs with Marty, another longtime resident in Toledo who lived at the zoo from 1999 until his passing in 2021. However, Crystal wasn't done blessing the world with baby bears when she received a new boyfriend in the form of Nuka, who took a roughly year-long vacation from his usual home in Detroit, becoming the father of Crystal's most recent cubs, twin brothers Khalik and Kalu, who were born December 1st, 2022. Directly across from everything we just saw is a very, very long exhibit with an appropriately themed log cabin at one end offering glass viewing of the gray wolf. Which concludes my breakdown of the Arctic encounter and what is now our 4th adventure at the Toledo Zoo. But there's still plenty more to see here in Toledo. And with a big arrival on the way, I think for the next Toledo tour, it's finally time to meet Toledo's largest residents. There's no denying the Arctic encounter is a great place to see polar bears, but on the next episode, we'll be taking a look at the exhibit that set a whole new standard for captive polar bear care and exhibitry.